Good morning, everybody. It's Jane from Chalk Mercantile and Surface Anthology. I wanted to show you guys, because I've been selling a lot of Miss Mustard Seeds hemp oil lately. This stuff is fabulous. It has no VOCs. It's food grade. You can use it on bare wood, painted surfaces, leather. It's great. I've used it on my grandson's wagon. You know, he's got a radio flyer wagon with the wood sides that were they were just down to the raw wood from being left outside. And I used the hemp oil and they still look beautiful. So I wanted to pick up from one of the last tutorials where I showed you guys a two-color milk paint technique where we created a ton, and I mean a ton of texture. This is the unfinished side. This is the hemp oiled side. And I'm not just throwing on a coat of hemp oil. It's a technique where we brush on the hemp oil and we use a sanding block or a piece of sandpaper to finish the wood, and it creates, where this is extremely rough, this is really, really smooth, and you can see it's darker. This one's still a little bit wet, so it's gonna lighten up a little bit, but it just creates this beautiful luster. Look at how rich those colors are. This is Flow Blue, Miss Mustard Seed Flow Blue over typewriter, which is her black. So, I know that the summer is almost here because the humidity is acting up and my hair's freaking out. But anyway, back to Miss Mustard Seed Hemp Oil. So how we do this is, what you're gonna need is a natural bristle brush, a little container for your hemp oil, and of course your Miss Mustard Seed Hemp Oil. One other thing I want to tell you about the hemp oil, because I get this question. Sometimes it's this golden color, sometimes it could be really green. It just depends on when they harvest the hemp seeds. It doesn't affect the color of the paint. I've used it on bright white paint and it doesn't, so don't get scared when you see that. Of course, I always recommend, when you're not used to something or you're new to a technique or a product, use that on an inconspicuous area of your project, or do a little test piece on a piece of scrap wood. All right, so what we do is brush on this hemp oil. And yep, I've used it on chalk paint, obviously the milk paint, and raw wood, and it's really beautiful. All right, so you just brush it on like that, and then you take your sanding sponge, and you can really hear it, how rough that is. So I'm not necessarily taking my finish down to raw wood to distress it and age it. I'm just working the sanding sponge through that top layer and a little bit of that lower layer of the milk paint. And you'll actually hear it as it gets smoother and smoother. All right, so once you do that, I have a bunch of these cotton rags. You just want to pull away and look at how much paint. So that would be dust if we were dry distressing it. So you want to keep turning that. And boy, for you people that are really into the primitive, and you can definitely see, by the way, it gets lighter as it dries. But for those of you that are into that really primitive, authentic, early American, really early painted furniture, I'm reading up on Irish bar stools and things from this really cool blog I follow. And these early painted surfaces are so beautiful. This is a way to kind of recreate that. And it's so smooth. It's so nice. So give that a try. I also want to show you, look at how adorable this little painted square is. And this one, you can see the ridges, how rough this is. This is my little painted block of the month design. That's one of my box subscriptions that I'm having a ball with. And I can't stop creating. So brush on your hemp oil. Look at the color. And then I'm going to use the other side. This is the other thing to remember. Once you use that side that had the flow blue and the black, we don't want to then go ahead and use that on these colors. I'm going to use the other side, a fresh side. Took off a ton of high points of milk paint. Now I don't offer this size, it's a 5-inch size. Let me know if you'd be interested in this as a block of the month, because what I'm thinking is I'm gonna make, I call it a painted quilt, make a series of these little milk painted squares. And these are done on my wonderful cabinet maker downstairs, Essex Cabinetry, cut these for me out of birch. And I'm in love with this size. But look at that. And it's just this really super distressed, authentic milk painted finish. You know, I can buff this a bit, but it isn't like wax. This is truly oil that is absorbed into the paint. And when you wipe it, you're wiping away the excess. You definitely want to do that. You don't want to leave a thick layer of the hemp oil because it will get really sticky. So don't do that. Make sure you wipe it away. And I'll post some pictures of these when they're dry. But give this a try. It's the Miss Mustard Seed Hemp Oil. And all you need is the hemp oil, a natural bristle brush, and a sanding block, and you're good to go. Give it a try on a project. Let me know what you think about doing a little painted block of the month in this petite 5-inch square. And thanks for watching, you guys. Have a wonderful Thursday. Happy painting.